Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube, where the watches are the stars, of course. But today with me is Mathieu Sauret, Product and Heritage Director of JAEGER-LECOULTRE, or JAEGER-LECOULTRE, the way you want to pronounce it. And I'm happy to have you because we are going to discover together one of your masterpieces of this show.
The Reverso tribute Duoface Tourbillon, a beautiful reinvention of the masterpiece of watchmaking, the queen of complication, tourbillon, but for the rectangular Reverso.
And as you heard him saying Duoface, this means that the watch has two faces, and you will be able to discover all this in our video. It has become a little bit late for us. You see less people. We're taking our time. We're working late to bring you the best possible content, and I'm so happy to have you. And thanks for being with us, even if it's late. And I think we are going to
starting for us.
There's a show. It's the show every time at the full hour, and it is 8 o'clock in the evening, and there you go. What a beautiful introduction of a video they're doing for us. That's so cool. That's a beautiful animation done with a shower with water and light. Everything is about the golden ratio.
Don't forget to subscribe and to hit the bell to get our latest notifications.
On your screen, you do discover now an incredible watch. And Mathieu Sauret is, I would say, the best possible partner you can have to discover the watch. And Mathieu, I am listening because I heard about it. People were talking about it, but I never had it in my hands. And I must say, wow.
Yes, an incredible blend of technical mastery at the service of the design of the Reverso. So when you see this watch in pink gold, you discover a beautiful front face and a captivating tourbillon that you see here at 6 o'clock with the quadrants, of the Reverso, those straight lines just being curved here to really welcome the tourbillon over this beautiful silver sunray dial with indexes and hands in the pure tradition of the tribute style. This is, of course, a piece that is, as dimensions that are really worthy of Reverso, extremely wearable. And here we work on several things. The first thing was to work on the tourbillon, to have something that actually you can see from the front and also of the back.
Shall we turn it around already? Do you want me to turn it around, or shall we keep it as a little bit of a surprise still?
We can keep it as a surprise if you want.
Okay, so guys, you still have to wait for a little moment before I show you the backside. This is really mind-blowing what you're going to discover on the backside. But okay, Mathieu.
Already you see a touch. There is a bit of a surprise because you see that the light is shining through the tourbillon. So you think that something is going on the other side. So I was telling about the proportions, almost the grande taille proportion for those who are historic to the Maison. It's really extremely beautiful, extremely wearable. It's the true size of Reverso, and it's extremely thin for a tourbillon. It's only 9.15 millimeter thin, I would say. It's very wearable. It has this curved back to really welcome really nicely the wrists with those beautiful lugs attached to it. It's the true Reverso in all its essence.
Also, if you look at the backside, you do see two things. And before we continue the little presentation here, you do see a fish. That means the case is waterproof up to 30 meters, 3 bars or 3 ATM. But here, this is interesting. I'm not sure if you have seen that. This is the 1,000-hour test hallmark. Can you quickly explain to my audience what is the 1,000-hour test at the Vallée de Joux? What are they doing with those watches?
At JAEGER-LECOULTRE, we invented a test in 1992, and since then we've been running this test on all of our watches. It means that the watches are tested for 1,000 hours, but fully cased, not as this is the case in other tests, for example, with just the calibers with working hands, not the finished products. Here the watches is really tested, fully cased, several tests, water resistance, power reserved, chronometric test, and it stays for 1000 hours. So here you open the watch and we see a beautiful sun ray pattern over a circle of light, which is built inside of the cradle. We call this part the cradle, and this part is mirror polished to sit beneath the tourbillon and to really catch as much light as possible. You see this beautiful mirror polished surface.
And we didn't polish it correctly because there is a little bit of a fingerprint or something. I will quickly do this because I really want to show you this mirror. Yeah, there you go.
It's so beautiful that everyone wants to touch it.
Obviously, yeah. And we see mirroring. Have you seen this beautiful decoration of the case? And they always do one thing very much like graph. You will see a different finish here because the direction of these stripes look like if it would be the sun. So at the chronograph, the stripes or the sun rays always start from the escapement or from the center of the watch, and this is the escapement because it's the escapement, the balance wheel that makes it run, and exactly the same happens here. Here is the sun, that's where the tourbillon is, and as you see, it's like if we would follow the sun rays coming from the center, and this is exactly where the tourbillon is. I will push it back, and then you understand what I'm talking about. And when I open up again, you see. And now let's discover
the backside.
The backside. There we go. Voila.
So discovering the tourbillon from both sides, and here it was our great challenge to discover the tourbillon from both sides. So we completely reinvented the tourbillon mechanism to feature in both sides. We completely removed the back cage to really see the tourbillon. So instead of a cage, the tourbillon is actually held by an external carriage that is sat on ball bearings. And you see here actually this carriage, which is telling the seconds here. It's running all the time, this carriage, and it tells the seconds. You can read it on the screen. So the tourbillon, you can see it from the front and also from the back, which is a complete challenge because usually the back cage actually hides the back of the tourbillon. And here, to showcase a masterful back for this watch, it's open work, and on the outer parts you see the bridges that held all the components. They are made in gold, and they have a guillochage which is made by hand inside of our atelier with century-old guillochage machine, and this pattern is called Clou de Paris.
It's here. This is all Clou de Paris pattern. And yeah, now we have it perfectly reflecting the light, and you see this is all handmade.
Of course, hand beveled with the anglage, as we say, so we polished all the edges of the tourbillon and all the bridges to really catch as much light as possible. So you see there the barrel bridge, you see with the GL logo. So this is whole hand beveled, anglage, handmade. Only this bridge takes 8 hours to make. These bridges, yes, with the GL logo, exactly.
Oh my goodness. This little detail takes 8 hours of work.
If we swivel the piece again, you reverse it.
Okay.
Again, I will explain the tourbillon from the front, because usually on a tourbillon you have an upper bridge that is holding the hairspring.
Normally here, somewhere.
And here you have nothing. Nothing, nothing, nothing. The tourbillon, the hairspring of the tourbillon is actually held on the outer part of the balance wheel instead of the center, because the center is set on a ball bearing. So here we have to rethink completely the spiral, and it's the only tourbillon on which you see the hairspring, the spirale in French, because I say the spiral sometimes, but the hairspring is actually just next to the dial. This is the only watch that is like this for a tourbillon. You see the hairspring is almost touching the dial.
And you can literally see how it breathes.
So no back cage, no upper bridge. And I say it's a double flying tourbillon, flying from the back
Double
and front.
flying tourbillon.
It's a double flying tourbillon.
Never had this before, double flying tourbillon. No.
And
But
imagine have this in 9mm only.
Yeah, but this is really cool. This little detail where you can see the hairspring, how it breathes and operates. But now let me turn back the dial, because you have, of course, seen something already and you are asking yourself, what the heck have they been putting here? And here is a day and night indication. And a day and night indication on such a watch could, it's not only you could, you can set a second zone time with the Duoface. It is also called
Duoface, yes.
And what I have to do is I have to pull out the crown in the first position. I will gently do this. With the gloves, it's not so easy, but I made it. And now watch the hour hand here. What happens? You see? It's like the home time function that they have integrated in lots of their watches for years now. You can set a second zone time whenever you are traveling without that the watch stops, without that you lose the correct time. And having a tourbillon means that you are, of course, having a very precise watch. And what sense would it make if you would pull out the crown and the entire watch would stop? That would make absolutely no sense. So when you travel and when you want to do some settings, crown in the first position, and as you see, you can set the hour hand in one step. And to know if it's day or night, please, when I operate the crown watch here, this is the day and night indication. I will start turning, and now we are entering night. Look, here, the blue phase is the night and the white phase is the day. And you have a sun appearing here. This is so beautiful.
Is masterfully made by the horloger of La Grande Maison, the watchmaker of watchmaker. Again, they have topped themselves to create an incredible Reverso and to feature it in such a small case with such a thinness.
The power reserve on the tourbillon is
50 hours.
50 hours. We said it before, the case is waterproof 30 meters. It's not necessary that you are afraid when you wash your hands, but please don't make any other exercises in water with such a watch. First of all, you would destroy the strap, the beautiful leather strap, and for the watch itself, it might not be the best thing to do. But protection of 30 meters is enough for daily use of such a watch. Very beautiful. Beautiful. Here you have the logo of JAEGER-LECOULTRE or JAEGER-LECOULTRE, depending on the way you want to pronounce it. Zoop. And again, the mirror here that will collect light to highlight that tourbillon even more. Beautiful. So now the thing that we also need to know is, since there are little pins here, can you exchange the strap if you want?
Yes, you can. We feature, of course, the most sophisticated type of stripes because it is alligator with small scales lining on the back. So it's pure alligator with small scale lining, the most comfortable and the more resilient of strap also to wear. And you can change the strap. It has quick change up on the case and also on the buckle, which is folding gold buckle.
Here is the logo, JAEGER-LECOULTRE logo. And here is it a Casa Fagliano? But you read
No,
know.
it's not Casafagliano. It's a genuine alligator.
Genuine alligator, I can't read it. It's upside down on my little monitor, so I can't read it. Casafagliano is the straps you get when you buy the chronograph. Is there a second strap coming with the watch?
There is not a second strap, but
It is an option if
it is an option if you want. And
I got the message.
there is
Yes.
accessories that you can purchase, and for this watch, of course.
Say thank you very much, Mathieu, for presenting me this marvel.
Thank you, Alexander, and thank you to the WatchAdvisor viewer. I'm sure we will get tons of feedback and questions in the comments.
I'm sure. This is beautiful. And I have to say, the form of the case has been optimized that this watch perfectly hugs your wrist. They couldn't have done it better. So my very last question to Mathieu for today is, of course, the watch has to have a price.
It does. So it's 130,000 euros excluding taxes.
Is it limited?
It is not limited, and it will be featured as soon as May in all flagship boutique of JAEGER-LECOULTRE around the world, meaning the big boutiques that we have.
It's not a limited watch, but it is for sure limited due to production. And I assume that the quantities they are able to make are not
very limited.
I think so, yeah.
Because very few watchmakers can assemble less than what I have fingers on my hands.
Thank you very much, Mathieu Sauret, for showing us this beautiful, beautiful tourbillon.
Duoface Tribute Duoface Tourbillon.
Tribute Duoface Tourbillon.